Hi guys, how's it going? We are going to do a quick garden tour. This is the very first, I think, garden tour I have ever done. I am just going to walk through fairly quickly, move with purpose, just because there's not quite a lot to see just yet. And we just want to show you what is waking up right now. All right, just standing back here, we are looking at what I call the courtyard or the side garden. We have a bunch of different things that are getting ready to go out into our planters. We have sweet peas, we have veggies, we have two roses. One, I believe, is the perfuma. I think it's Perfuma Bliss. We'll look at it. We'll get close. We'll get close. Those are the ones that I snagged for $20 a piece. They are like 50+% off compared to getting them at Heirloom Roses or anywhere else you could probably find them online. They were so marked down, and it's not that the prices were marked down at Lowe's, that's just the price that they were selling them. But the other ones are going to be our Super Tuna Vista bubblegum. I think there's Jazzberry in there. There may be a purple one, a darker purple. Those are the ones that I have wintered over from last year. They did fairly well. I think I started out with 10 maybe, and I have about 8 or 9 left. A couple of them perished just because of my watering, and I did not have enough space for everybody. However, they are doing absolutely wonderful, and I cannot wait for them to go out into our planters. So right now, like I said, we are over in the courtyard side garden. I'm not really sure what to call it. It is offset of my garage door. I like to come out here to set up for potting and just really enjoying the minimal amount of sun and heat that I have in the morning on this side. So first I have my potting table right here. We just built that as a quick little thing just to help me keep a little bit more organized. It is absolutely wonderful and I love using it. It is kind of on the wonky side because we used a lot of scrap wood over here, but that is okay. We can always improve it later. It does help to repurpose some of the extra scrap wood that we have, which we still have a couple more pieces I have ideas for, but that is what we have over here. In these pots, I do have some, what are they called? Helen von Lamb's Ear. I think Helen von Stein Lamb's Ear. I can't remember how to pronounce the name. As well as lilies that one of my coworkers, bless her, she gave me in the back right there. I have some more over on the other side. This is the first time I've actually been able to get them to grow more and not die back. So hopefully we'll get some blooms this year. They seem to like this spot. I am going to change up the style of these planters. I just wanted to pop some things in here during the winter time so they could grow on and have space, but I am going to change it up pretty shortly and have bountiful flowers in this space. I'm looking forward to it. I do have semi-matching, maybe not the pots are matching, but the idea is still kind of on the same, with the same type of plants. Super excited, cannot wait. These will be moved around a little bit differently in the planters. I'll probably have the lilies in the back. I'll probably move the lamb's ear towards the front and maybe a bubblegum or some sort of super tunia in the center. Now you've already looked at these, but I'm going to show you what they are called. So this one is Princess Charlene de Monaco, which I think was $65 or $75 on Heirloom, but they have it for $20 if you missed it in my previous video. Here it is again. Go grab them if you want something of this nature. And then the Parfumer Earth Angel. Oh, I cannot wait to get this in the ground. I think it'll be absolutely beautiful. Let's see what the stats are on this. Let me grab them off. Okay. So this gets to be about 5 feet high and 4 feet wide. It does want full sun, creamy pink apricot scented rose, has a sweet rose apple champagne scent. So I'm super excited. I cannot wait to get this in the ground. On this one, let's see what this one says. This one is about the same, maybe not as wide, but 5.5, up to 5.5 height and 2 to 3 feet wide. water regularly until established. It does have a fresh fruit smell, light apricot, shell pink, super cool. I cannot wait. It says that it's good to be used as a cut flower, which I am excited about, which is part of the reason why I wanted to get a bunch of roses that I can cut. Over here, I do have the, I want to say it is the Colette rose. My Eden climber is on my trellis and the Colette rose is over here. I did put a little bit of soil over top around it because I had leaves that were just decomposing in place. I do have to do a little bit more work over here just to clean up all the leaves that have since piled on top, and some of the placeholders, they're not weeds, they're placeholders, are popping up everywhere. We always get them this time of the year, and then when the heat starts to come in, they fade away. So I can't wait to get rid of that. Oh, if you have already seen this, you'll see this soon enough. We'll talk about that later. But here are my other two roses. If you saw my previous video, I am hoping to get an edge of boxwoods that comes down here slightly in offset of the box right there so that we have it offset here, and then some to cap it off a little bit towards the fence, but leave an opening so that I can get in and out and trim without fuss. I am thinking about doing some sort of boxwood. Leave a comment down below if you have any ideas. I'm thinking about either a sprinter, something that's pretty fast growing. I hear about the new gen boxwoods. I think they have Liberty Bell, Freedom, and Independence, and I know where to source all of those here at my local nurseries. So I'm super excited to get my hands on them. These roses look absolutely wonderful. I want to say I got these from Heirloom as well. One of them, I believe, is the purple, I think it's like Violet's Pride, and I can't remember the name of that one, but we will put, I need to get name tags until I can remember which one's which, or what names of the roses I have in like a running list so I can keep remembering so I can share that information with all of you. But one of them is a purple rose and the other is kind of a peachy orange pink rose. I cannot wait until they flesh out. You can see their growth habits are not the same, but they are doing absolutely wonderful. The color on them is pretty great already, and I hope it stays that way and they don't get black spot, but we are going to look at it in all of its glory right now because it has flushed out so well. I am super excited. Coming over here, I do have Star Jasmine going up along the fence line. I want to get another one right here. I did have a grapevine there, but it was not the best place for it. I have two grapevines, but I am going to move them into a better location. I'm not sure what I'm going to do, but we're going to figure something out. Coming in here, you can see the beautiful trellis is starting to get some vining going on. This is one of the grapes. I do need to move them, and it is climbing all the way up to the tippy top, and I'm hoping that I can weave it through the top. I think I might also want to place more pieces at the top, and it looks like this piece right here has come off, so I need to secure that a little bit better. I'm not sure what happened there. I think the screws might be a little too short, but I'm going to secure that piece, and maybe a couple more pieces in between would be really nice up at the top. Coming down here, you can see all of the leaves are starting to really flesh out. I just defoliated this rose maybe a couple weeks ago, early February, I want to say, and it is already really starting to flesh out. On this side is another grapevine. It is actually starting to pop out with some growth on it. You can see these growth points are starting to swell. I don't recall which variety this is, but it is a green type as far as I recall. Hopefully I can pop up an image. Maybe we have that information in our videos or on our log somewhere, and we'll pop it in there. I don't think I did a very good job with trimming it, and I think this might be a dead branch right here, so I may have to come through and get rid of the dead branches from some of these limbs. Down here I have the perennial salvia. I'll put the name on there. It's a pale purple bluish type color, along with one of the hydrangeas. I can't remember if it's Firelight or which one it is, but it does get pretty massive in this space. Again, another little box full of flowers. Super excited. I didn't have to do anything. I put them down last year in the fall, and they've been just popping out when the weather is nice, and it's been pretty good. Over here, you may have already seen that I planted up this space with a bunch of snapdragons. I do need to still come back through and place in some string of some kind. I do have jute. Looks like some of them may not be very happy over here and they may not make it, but we'll see if they pull through. If not, like this one just completely broke up. But this might actually be my pup. She probably ran through here because that looks like she stepped all over it. I do have 4 North Pole arborvitaes right here. I have about 4 more over in the back garden, but I have a couple right here and then matching ones on the other side. As you can see, the billowing of the fabric, we have our crops in. I've got garlic, lettuce, and onions. And I also have, I don't know which ones these are. Let's take a look. These are cabbages. So the Piccadilly cabbages are already in. I did pinch some snaps to see if I can get something growing in here. They seem to be holding it together for some of them. Some of them seem like they're holding it together with new leaves in the middle. And then others are like, nah, we're done. I have some more of the flowers from last fall that just sprang back to life. So if you have winters that aren't super horribly cold, that you're like mounds and mounds of snow, you might be able to get away with leaving your fall planted gardens and then they just spring back to life when the weather gets a little warmer. Over here I have the big box. Tons of new growth coming in the center of these guys. We should be heading up. I think these are the bok choy, some more garlic. These were all planted over the winter time and they have come back so nicely. I can't wait because I am going to make something with them. My husband actually gets to enjoy some of this. He never really gets to enjoy the leafy greens because when he goes back to work, he is not here during the time when we can enjoy them. So all of them looking pretty good for the most part. They're a little worse for wear, but I think they will bounce back really nicely. Again, this side actually looks a little bit stronger for the snapdragons. A few of them look like they're a little floppy, but majority of these are standing so strong. So I think that has to do with a couple of things. Most of these have been pinched on this side, so it's giving them a stronger base to hold on to. And then I also think I gave them a little bit more wind with my fan. So I think that definitely helped a lot. I am concerned about this boxwood just because for some reason on this side it seems like something is not happy with it. It is not doing so well, so I might just have to come out, clean it up a little bit. I see some new growth in the bottom a little bit, but we'll see if it flushes out because a lot of this looks pretty new right here, so maybe it will be okay. If anything, I may have to dig it up when it's able to and maybe rotate it to give the ugly side to the fence. Then we have the other box, not the other box, but the North Pole right here. Super excited about it. I can't wait. I know they say that the inside of the boxwood can go brown and the outside is what you really need to be concerned about unless the whole thing turns brown. So I'm not too concerned about it. It did the same thing last year, but it came back and we are good. Coming over here, we're back over to more of the main part of the garden. I just call this the back garden just because it's literally the farthest back area of the garden and it goes all the way down. There's not a whole lot to see right now, but use that imaginative garden in mind that you know that things that are just starting to come out now in a month or two, it's going to look so much different. Now I do have a few peonies in here. One of them is the romantic mix, and then I also have, oh, I can't remember, something sunset sunrise mix, I believe. And those are kind of slewed out throughout this area and over near our back door, which I'll show you as well. I have 2 or 3 North Poles right in here. Hopefully they look like they're doing absolutely wonderful. I do see some new growth starting to come on there. I have no idea how long it'll take before they get up to the expected size for North Poles is 5 feet, up to 5 feet wide and 15 feet tall. So I'm hoping they'll just give us a really beautiful shape in this area. All of the peonies that I planted last year and the new ones that I just planted have already started to spring up and they are looking really, really nice. So I have that one right there. I have the Summerific Edge of Night over here, along with a incredible hydrangea. This area gets a good amount of sun, but it is morning sun only, so I think everything in here will get the sun requirements that they need. I do have hollyhocks back here. They did not bloom for me last year. They are already starting to grow again, so maybe they will actually bloom for me because I know sometimes they could be biennials, but we'll see. If not, eventually they'll die off anyway. I'm not too concerned. I do have several roses in here. One's right here and a couple down there. That is the cathedral bell. It's either cathedral bell or cathedral ball. It is a beautiful pale pink, full of petal blooms. The blooms don't last an exceptionally long time, but it is just a stunner and it's absolutely wonderful. So I'm super excited about that. The leaves are looking really great on it. So I cannot wait. I definitely need to come out here and really edge up everything to clean it all up. We will be mulching it, so it definitely will get a different look once it gets mulched. I have a cluster of black lilies that I think are going to come up in this space right there. So I'm looking forward to see how they look. I have some carnations over here along with more Shasta type daisies and Rebecca all in this space. I am hoping to get this cleaned out. There's not a lot of sun. It is a solar water fountain insert. If you have any information, drop it down below on if you know where I can get an electric type of water pump. I think fish tanks have them, but if you can just drop something down below if you know of anywhere I can get like an electric version, because I would rather have it electric because this is a shadier spot and I think this is a beautiful space for this bird bath slash water fountain, but unfortunately it just does not get enough sun to produce the effect that I'm hoping for. When it is working, it looks absolutely beautiful and I am super excited because I can't wait till this is all fleshed out with blooms underneath. My idea is that this year I am going to deck this out with super petunias, verbena, and anything else that I can get that's super impactful down around the base of it. I'm thinking about maybe even putting a trim of boxwoods just to cap it out so that you just see that pedestal just popping out from the top. I think that would be amazing. Coming down further, we kind of have the same mirroring on this side. I have two more peonies that kind of flank the bird bath on either side, along with more hollyhocks just glued in. Some more roses. The leaves look actually really beautiful. They're a nice bright red, which is kind of funny and in contrast to some of the other roses you might see. These branches, now that everything is starting to flush out, looks like they may not be alive, so I will have to come in and take those out, which will be fine, but I'm going to give it a little bit more time to see if anything happens. A good rule of thumb, if you can come in and you scratch, if you're not sure, you can scrape the bark a little bit, and it's brown, so I want to say that that might no longer have any life in it, and I'll trim those two branches out. We have more roses over here. I cannot remember the name of this one to save my life. However, I do have this hydrangea. It looks like it may be dead, but it is not. You can see these buds are starting to form. Let me see if I can get it. There you go. It looks like it was dead. Oh, I guess I liked it better with my hand there. But you can see that it is starting to protrude. So always just wait a little while before just ripping something out because it may surprise you that they're still alive. Now this has got to be one of the ugliest, the ugliest shaped North Pole I have ever seen. Hopefully it will flesh out and the top will grow a little bit more conical in shape. We may have to kind of help it along, but I don't want to do any trimming until it gets to be a little bit older and taller. I will eventually put another one maybe in this space back there because I have one that's ever so small behind it. I do have a huge thing. I want to say this is Rebecca. It is beautiful orange flowers, like kind of like a black-eyed Susan kind of look, and it has like a black in the center. I cannot wait. I think it's going to be really, really glorious once it starts to bloom. We have a couple of heucheras, a purple one and a red one in this space, along with the summerific. Um, I think that one's the cherry chocolate, it says. I don't know if it's still alive or not because they grow back with new growth. So the stems that they have right now are not the stems that are going to be coming up. I leave a little bit of the stems above the surface so I know what's there. hopefully we'll start seeing some action soon and they will start to peak above the soil and I can determine whether or not they survived. I do have two sprinter boxwoods. I think they're supposed to get probably about 3, 4 tall and wide. I'll put the stats up just to make sure that they're accurate. And I think they'll look really nice just to kind of separate this space from the woodland area. I do have some sort of lilac. I don't know if it's mated or not. It looks like it's pushing out growth. We could try and test it out. And look, oh, I think it is. There's some grass. There's some green growth down here at the bottom. So I think it's doing something. I planted it last year. It was kind of in a shadier spot than I guess it would have liked. So I brought it a little bit more forward. This gets really big, probably about 10 feet. 10 feet tall and wide. And I think it'll will certainly help to separate this area. Moving along this area, we have a little bit of, I want to say those are daffodils and the hyacinths in here. The hyacinths and the daffodils do not get enough sunlight in this space, but they do provide a little bit of color in between that transition. Just something that gives you some strappy color for a little bit. Poor deer. I can't get over the deer being kind of like I feel so bad for it. Like, and the smell is so potent. I really love it. Oh my gosh, it's so windy. I don't know if you can hear it, so I apologize if you can't hear me. Over here, we do have some lilies in this vase. Oh, look, this is starting to really come up with these little, I think these are the Wee Bit Innocent hydrangeas. I thought they would be so cute, just a little bit fill out this entire pot maybe. I have a couple of bulbs that are in there. I think those might be actual tulips. I don't know if they're going to do anything. I just dropped them in there, see if they would do something. They do not look the same on the other side because I did not put them on the other side. But this is also matching. It's another Wee Bit Innocent. It has some growth going on there, so I'm super excited to see that. Then we come over here and, okay, that blew away from somewhere. I need to get that. But this filled out, looks like it sticks. We have these types of pine trees everywhere. And you can see we live on a busy drag, but those pine trees need to come out. They are just falling and breaking everything. So there's a dead tree like right next to it. Like, if I can show you, it's super dead and it just needs to go. But we have these hydrangeas right here. They, I want to say, are just the mop head, or it might be the Annabelle. I'm not really sure. I have to double check. I just got them from Lowe's or Home Depot. It was kind of like, I don't want to say generic because everyone works really hard to create and make and, alter these plants so they could be the best, strongest, and most resilient. So whatever work they did, I want to make sure I honor that. But these are your typical ones you would see in your garden center for the shade preferring type of hydrangeas. So I am working this space just to give us more color over here and really start to work in this back area. So they're going to flesh out tons of blooms. I think it's going to be absolutely magnificent. I do also have not hydrangeas, but peonies down in this space. And then to give you all the bad news about peonies, if you don't already know, peonies, unfortunately, they may bloom this year, but I cannot keep the blooms. I have to debud all of the blooms for the next 3 years to give them their best chance of being vigorous, big bloomers. So, unfortunately, we may not get a big show for the flowers this year, but we will see how they perform with their foliage and how they continue to perform each year. I do also have more hydrangeas over here. I will have to pop up the names of which ones we planted because I had like 8 of them that I planted throughout the garden, and I strategically planned which ones should go where, but I cannot recall which is which, and I did not label them, so I will probably have to go back and look and maybe put tags for all of them so I know. And then I do have my hose reel, which is very helpful. But then we come back over here, and I think this is probably, oh, you guys get to see it with me for the first time. You see what I see? Oh, look at that bloom. I have no idea what variety it is. These are tulips that are coming back from last season's tulips in the spring. Oh, and I even have I don't know what that is. Oh no, those are snowdrops. I thought those were snowdrops. I was getting so excited for a second. Are they snowdrops? No, 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 they can't possibly. Okay. I had snowdrops a few years ago, but sometimes I play stuff around and I forget. But look how beautiful that container looks. My tulips came back. I'm assuming that it may have been they just got the right amount of nutrition, the right amount of sun, and definitely the right amount of chill hours because we all know that tulips sometimes do not come back reliably like daffodils will. And they clearly love this spot. So I am super excited. We have a very similar look, but not as bountiful, unfortunately, just because there's less in here. But we also have tulips in this space. I am super excited. I cannot wait until everything really starts to fill out. I cannot wait to get this menagerie of things off of this and get the chairs and everything set up for what I hope is going to be the year of flowers. Can you see that bee right there? We always have bees hovering over in this space. They absolutely love it for some reason. I don't know why. All right, that is it for our basically our backyard garden tour. I don't really have a whole lot going on in my front yard. Most of the attraction is in the backyard. I hope you enjoyed this video. Hopefully you saw some things. Definitely give me a comment down below about that pump of some kind, some sort of water feature that I can put inside of my bird bath, and maybe I can get that really going into some sort of water in the backyard for a fountain. I'm super excited. But I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.